welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Hannah and I am engaged and I'm getting married on April 29th of 2022. So today I'm going to be sharing with you all about our wedding website and the website that we use to make our wedding website. However, if you are new to my channel, this is the first video that you are seeing. I am making a whole series about wedding planning and everything that I've gone through with wedding planning, including the bridal party, the venues, the vendors, the registry, and all the stuff that we're doing to get ready for our wedding. So if you are interested in learning more and getting help to plan your own wedding or someone else's wedding, then go ahead and watch my other videos in this series. Okay, so the last video was all about my bridal party. That was like the first thing that we did when we got engaged, was decided who was going to be in our bridal party, because honestly it was already a no-brainer. But the second thing that we did, or that I did, was go and set up our wedding website, but I did that using a website called The Knot. So The Knot is a pretty common one. I've heard of other ones like Zola. I've heard of Wedding Wire, I think also does it. So The Knot is nice because it literally gives you ideas and vendors and budgeting tools and guest list stuff all for you. All of these tools are there for you and it's all in one place and it's really, really nice. So the big tools that we used were the vendors. We also use the guest list thing on there. We use the RSVP tool for the guest list. We use the wedding website tool, and we also use the registry. So we use the vendors tool to help us locate different vendors in our area for where the wedding is, because our wedding is not actually like super local to where we both grew up. It's a little bit farther away, but still in the same state. But we weren't as familiar with the people that were located right there. So we looked at the vendors tool to help us find a florist, the officiant, the venue, the DJ. I looked at it for makeup artists and hairstylists. I used it for all of those things. So it's nice because you can kind of set your radius. How close do you want the vendor to be to your location? The price range. If you want to spend a lot of money, a little bit of money, you can kind of customize all of that. So it really gives you just like a very consolidated list of all the people that can help you with your wedding that are in the area. So another great tool on this website is the budgeting tool. We did not really use it to its full extent. I kind of played around with it. You'll see in the recording that I'm going to show you here that we have like some numbers in here, but that was just kind of me playing around and seeing like what it really did. It's nice because it can budget per each vendor. So maybe you really want to spend a lot more money on a photographer because that's something that's really important to you, and like less money on a photo booth, something like that. So it helps you pick like what's most important to you, what's going to be those big cost items, and then what you have like left over that you can spend on the smaller things. But it also really thinks about everything, like every little detail that you might forget about. You might think like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put money in for that, but it will think about it for you, which is super nice. Okay, so then the two main features that we use are the guest list and the registry. So the guest list feature is probably the most convenient thing that I've ever encountered, because with a wedding, I mean, depending on how big your wedding is, it can get up to a lot of people. Ours, we're inviting about 220 people, so that's a lot of people to keep track of. So I put everybody in the guest list tool on the website. But what's nice about it is that you can kind of put them into parties. So if you have like a husband and wife that are being invited, they're in a party. A whole family that's being invited, they're in a party. And so when they go to RSVP, also on the website, which I'll talk about, you can kind of RSVP for your entire party, and it's just all very consolidated. And with that, it also keeps track of how many households you have, because that was something I was like, okay, wait, we're inviting 220 people, but I don't need to send 220 invitations because some people live in the same house. So it breaks it down into who lives in the same house, like who's in a household together, who's in the same party, and it just makes it a lot easier on you. And then you can also include their address, their phone number, their email, all in that information, so that you can actually send your guests like text or emails like as a group. And it's really neat because you can remind them, hey, the RSVP deadline's coming up, don't forget to RSVP. Or maybe you have to like change something like the time of your wedding, and you can just kind of send out a quick email instead of having to send a whole new invitation. So I really like that feature. As people start to respond, it tells us how many people have responded, how many people have declined, how many people still need to respond. You can also put other events on there. So you might have your wedding day event, but also we put our rehearsal dinner on there. So we can pick and choose who was also invited to the rehearsal dinner, so then when they go to RSVP, they can also RSVP to the rehearsal dinner too, which is awesome. And the last feature that I really like is the registry, and I'm going to talk more about our registry and how we made our registry, how we decided what to put on it, what is on it, and all that in another video. But I just want to tell you that the registry is nice because you can pick and choose like different stores and put everything in one place. So when your guests go and visit your registry, they're seeing every item that you have, and they might be from different stores. Like you might have 5 things from Bed Bath & Beyond, 10 things from Wayfair, 100 things from Amazon. It can be from all different platforms, but they put it all in one place. So you can add whatever stores you want to your registry, but your guests will only have to go to one spot to see it, which is super nice. It also breaks down categories, like you have this many items on your registry that are between $0 and $20. You have this many items on your registry that are between like $100 and $200. So it kind of gives you a breakdown, like Do I have enough items that for like different price ranges, but your guests can also shop that way. Okay, so that's kind of the wedding tool that we've been using to help us plan. So now this website, The Knot, also allows you to make your own wedding website. So that's what I want to talk more about, because I feel like the wedding website is just the best idea. So anyway, our wedding website, you get to create it. You get to pick the background, you get to pick the different fonts and the colors and all that and what it says. So it's really neat. You kind of get to make it your own. One nice feature is that you get to make your own URL. So we ended up picking our wedding hashtag, which is ring the wedding bells. That's the end of our URL. So you can make it anything that you want. So if you want to use a wedding hashtag, if you just want to come up with something simple that you can remember or that your guests can remember, it is something that they can type in. So once you have your URL, you also then get to decide like what aspects do I want to include on the wedding website. I think that their default options are like the information about the wedding, the places to stay. So if you have like hotel blocks set out for your guests, that you can put them on the website for places to stay, or just put ideas of hotels in the area. Your registry's on there. The RSVP can be on there. You can put pictures of your bridal party so people get to know the bridal party. You can put like an Our Story section where you kind of talk about like your love story with your fiance. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, there could be an FAQ section. There's a lot of different things you can put on there. So we really used this website to help break down the day for the people. So we put literally the timeline of the day. So when's the wedding, when's the cocktail hour, when's the reception. We put the dress code for everything so that people kind of know what they're coming into. I feel uncomfortable sometimes going to weddings where I don't really know what the dress code is, because everyone's different, everyone's preference is different. So I made sure to include that. We put places to stay on ours because we do have a hotel block. Literally the link right to the website to go ahead and book your room through there. And I did put an FAQ on there. I felt like this was important because I wanted to address some questions that honestly I have already gotten. Like, are kids allowed at the wedding? What's parking like? That's another big one. Will there be an open bar? Everyone always wants to know. So questions that I felt like either people were going to ask a lot or people were going to be afraid to ask, but I know that you're all wondering because I was always wondering when I go to weddings. I put them on there just to kind of clear some things up. So I love this wedding website tool. We put a QR code, not on the actual invitations from our wedding because I didn't think about it when ordering the invitation, but I did put it on the envelope. So I printed out envelopes myself, and just on the back of it, I just put a little QR code that took you right to our wedding website. Actually, I think it even took you right to the RSVP page. So our wedding website was on our invitations. I did put it at the bottom, like for more information. On the envelope, I put a QR code directly that took them to the RSVP page of the website. So as soon as they scanned it, it took them to the RSVP page where they could say who in their party was coming. They can also pick their meals, so that was super easy. And then you can add other options, like if you want to ask your guests, like, do you have a song that you want us to play, or do you have any well wishes you want to send the bride and the groom? So you can add more things that they can fill out. But because of that, and I'll talk about this in another video too when we go over invitations, but because of that, it kind of cut down on cost for the little return RSVP cards. I didn't have to send them to everybody because they had the QR code option or just the website option. So I felt like that was really nice, and the feedback that I got, people really, really liked that. They were like, that was so easy to do. You know, it's super quick. We just get it done, and that was that. So I will have the Knot linked down below so that you can see it if you are interested in checking it out. Like I said, they have tons of tools on there that are so incredibly helpful, especially if you're still in the phase where you're searching for vendors, trying to look at reviews and just see people in your area, because they give you so many options, and it's incredible. I hope that you found this video helpful if you are trying to make a wedding website or considering which website to use to help you make a wedding website. I just found the Knot to be the most convenient one for me, and it has not failed me once yet, so I'm very, very happy with it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and coming along and planning with me, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye!